back in my leg, so I'm hoping that that's just more mental than anything. But
you're probably still a little swollen too, and that's gonna like press on your nerves and such. So as that goes down.
So I'm on a nerve pill, and I'm on my my Vicodin, and I'm on Zofran because I can't take nerve pills or Vicodin, so that's nausea. But I mean, even Shannon said whenever we left the hospital, I mean, I looked back at her and she was like crying, and I was like, "What's happening?" And she said, "Just look at the way you're walking. Look at the way you're standing. Like you're not walking the way you were when you went in. Like you're not.
You're walking.
You're not in pain every step." And I didn't even notice, but I mean, that's why they do it. That's why they recommend the surgery, and that's why it gets done. So that's the tale of my surgery. Yeah, if you have any questions, I'll answer them. But
cheers to a successful recovery,
Dr. Harvey. If you have that back
cheers
surgery,
to Dr. Harvey. Cheers to the Buckeye Militia.
Who hacked the computer?
Yeah, sorry, folks. For those of you watching the live feed right now, I don't know what happened. We lost connection there, but we're back up and running.
I am down the whiskey.
I want to see if I can get more peach out of the back.
You want to get more peaches out of the back?
I didn't put any water in it. Jay was saying, "You're using my water."
Oh, that's right. I remember.
So now, whoa! You got to fill that up.
That went from 92 proof to about 50.
Yeah, really. Because it tastes like there's a peach on the back of the.
I mean, I've heard that before.
I could eat a peach for hours.
There's a peach on the back.
Backdoor peaches for free.
Yeah, there's backdoor peaches. You got to watch out.
So that's cool, Mikey. Hopefully it gets as every day goes on, it just gets better and better for you.
I'm glad to be back here for dang sure.
Yeah,
for absolutely sure, and especially on the working front. Yeah, I'll miss you there too, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We had one of our most loyal Whisketeer Patreon member from episode 1. Yeah. We got an email. He seems to be the only one who ever emails us. So for those of you listening,
he loves us.
Please send us some emails. We will read them. We got one here from our good friend Mario Ciccarella, and we are going to have Jason read it.
Now, have we been cleared to actually read this on the air?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I heard a yes.
That's a verbal confirmation.
Houston, we're good to go.
I mean, just leave out the part where he said Mike's assist.
Oh, what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Mario.
What about the backdoor peaches?
No,
peaches for free.
Leave the backdoor peaches.
That's right. Millions of peaches.
Peaches for me.
All right. So this is from Mario Ciccarella. Now, I believe this is addressed more to us than the audience, right?
Yeah, it's...
Okay. So, Happy New Year, fellas. I wanted to offer a suggestion. In light of your 1-year anniversary, I think all the listeners should donate $1 to the show, especially you free market libertarian types. You know there's no free ride. Ante up! Had an interesting 42 moment. Background. Back around 05-06, truckers started using...
Hold on one second, let me interject. For those of you who are wondering what that means, we on episode 42, we discussed
the meaning of 42.
The meaning of the mystery and everything else from A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the meaning of 42. Sorry.
That's good. It gave me a little time to sip a nip.
Peach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Background. Back around 05-06, truckers started using 42 in lieu of 10-4. See, I didn't know this. This is informative. I assumed it was because of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but never knew for sure. The night I listened to episode 42 of your podcast, my buddy called before Yins got to the 42 part. At some point in the conversation, we agreed on something, and he said 42, and as usual, I repeated 42. I started pondering where truckers got that from. Note, parenthetical note, my friend never heard of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I started telling him about the book and that was probably the origin. After we got off the phone and I got to my stop, I did my thing. I turned the podcast back on for the ride home. I can't prove it for sure, but it was damn near 42 seconds before Ian started talking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That kind of blew me away and gave me a Matrix moment. Last, I'm glad yins are talking about what's been going on in culture. I struggle with this postmodern egalitarian crap, but the conversation needs to happen, and I'm certainly not without my views. However, my thoughts are too much for me to write. If I may, off what I've been listening to, song for the playlist, should we wait for the end of the...
Yeah, well, we can
Okay.
include it. I have it in the show notes already. I plan on adding it this week.
All right, so I'm going to let that go, and we'll get back there. And it's some for right now. I've said it before. I'll say it again. People need to get a fucking hobby. Slanchava. Mario. So a hearty Slanchava to Mr. Ceccarella.
Mario.
Slanchava, Mario.
Salud.
Anytime you toast somebody with Lagavulin, it just means a little more.
It just does.
Don't you need a cigar or something?
I could do it.
I
Yeah,
think so.
I've had a good stogie or two. I've had a couple bad ones.
Bad about it. My problem with stogies is this. There's too much. Like, I enjoy a stogie for like the first, 5 minutes. And then I just got the whole rest of it to suffer through. And like, you can't, once you extinguish them and relight them, they're just shot. Like, that's it. They're done. You need to consume them all in one outing. So, I mean, I need,
Golf
I-
course.
golf course.
That's
Or
where I
stubby
generally have.
stogies. I just need little guys,
Just a little bit.
Just a little guy. I would like to bring something up
Mikey.
in light of Mario's email, text, whatever.
Sure. Email.
Yeah. I would like to say that. I mean, he brings up the point, and I mean, I'm not going to get on here and beg for donations, but I would say that if you're out there listening, honestly, man, $1 that could do a lot for this show.
Just
It really
to let
could.
us know you care, honestly.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, and there's a lot of costs beside just the consumables.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Our,
storage. There's
Our
technology,
storage fee is coming up here.
our
to
storage
get it.
fees coming up. There's technology. We got to buy bullets. No, I'm just kidding.
For Texas Al. Hi, buddy.
Right,
Where
but
you at? We miss you.
no, seriously, $1. It's not really that much,
It's not.
and it could really help out. quite a
Especially
bit.
if we had like all of the Facebook likes that we have donating $1.
My God,
That's $500 an
Could be
episode.
Lagavulin,
We can quit our jobs.
Lagavulin every week,
Well, maybe
boys.
not. But we could be really comfortable.
It would help. It would help the show a lot.
Yeah.
And there are some. I understand. It's podcast. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts. I don't particularly donate to too many of them. I get that. I understand what it's like. I understand money's tight for everybody, but I'm just going to pitch for us because I know what it costs to run the show. And like if $1 here or there could, it'd help us out a lot more, I think, than a lot of people would miss it.
Yeah.
So I'm just
It really does.
just putting that out there, and I thank you, Mario, for expressing that because
just,
I'm really glad that he did. And Mario is also a man who puts his money where his mouth is.
Right.
Yeah. He has the biggest
Yeah. Yeah,
Patreon donation
he does.
to
He does.
date.
He
So
does.
I challenge somebody to rival his $10 donation.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Thank you very much, Mario. I love it when you express stuff to the show. I know him outside of the show. He's a really incredibly intelligent man. He's quite interesting. He's got some awesome, great taste and hobbies, and it's really good to get feedback from him. And anybody out there, man, you want to send us some messages? We'll read it on the show. We'll discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're lucky because we have some really awesome listeners.
We
I
really
mean,
do. Have
The
some-
vocal listeners are all awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone who listens comes up, talks
Yeah.
to us, sends a message, whatever. Intelligent people, vocal, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, good conversationalists. So
Yeah.
I think we're lucky with our
Yeah.
listeners.
Speaking of good people, let's see how I'm just going to move.
Segway J.
Segway J. I'm good at it. What I have here, boys, this is Now, this was directed directly at me as Christmas gifts from my sister. However, this is going to be riding along with me now for every episode. Check that out. I got, she got me that. And then there's this, I'll let you pass that
It's
around.
a field guide to whiskey.
Kind of like what we do with our ratings here. I don't know where the little book is or where she
You're
found it.
telling me that Amy bought you a book?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's really
But
weird.
she also got me this little handy dandy how we do our rating system. You can
Look at that.
you can put in your whiskey choices and write down more
She's pretty
detailed
super
notes.
swell, man.
Was this book made from a Coke barrel?
I think it was
Smell that book.
triple charred.
Triple wood.
Yeah.
But
Fan the pages.
Number 3 char right here.
so I mean I've
What
leafed
is
through
whiskey?
life.
Yeah, I'm telling you
42.
what. When we
I
get
should do chapter 42.
I'll tell you what's going to happen when we get stuck for topics on the show. We're just going to sit down and read a chapter
There we go.
out loud on the show.
So it prompted me to, and I think I posted this on our Facebook page as well. I asked for anyone who received something drinkable for Christmas to show us what you got, and the only person who chimed in was Jeremy. He now I don't remember what it was. That was last week.
We got an outside answer from Rick Words.
Just today, as a matter of fact, he got some amazing choice.
I don't think he put it on the Facebook page.
No.
But yeah.
But did we receive anything cool?
Triple wood.
He already shared that.
Yeah, we did.
I got some Talisker, which I can't wait to bring to the show.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite whiskeys for quite some time, and I know I've pestered these boys about liking it quite a bit, and my lovely wife was awesome enough to get me a fifth of it for Christmas, so we will be enjoying the
I'm
Talisker.
anxious to try it.
Yeah,
Very,
I've never
very
had
excited.
the Talisker, so I'm
It's an island malt, so you know, buddy, you know.
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
I know I didn't receive any full bottles, so to speak, but I got some different
minis.
trial bottles. I got
Mhm.
on Macallan,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a Woodford Reserve that I've already rehomed, as a matter of fact, to Uncle Matt, basically. It was kind of funny when we did the
Traveling that?
maybe Uncle Traveling Mitt. We did the
Did I just make Fraggle Rock?
You did.
Unfortunately, you did. Yeah.
Why did I do
I
that?
don't know.
Anyway,
we did the 4th of July special, and after the show, I had to run across the street to Walmart to go get some stuff for the party because we literally had we recorded a show on the 4th of July
yeah,
in the morning, I believe.
yeah.
And then I had to run over to Walmart afterwards, and oddly enough, man lives in Erie. I run into him
Head
at
out
the
to
Altoona
Walmart.
Walmart, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "We were just doing our podcast." I said, "We had some larceny. It was fantastic. You should try it."
Yeah.
And then he told me over the weekend when he was in for New Year's or for New Year's,
Christmas, New Year's, yeah.
and he said he's like, "You know what I've been drinking like pretty much all summer since you said it." And I said, "What's that?" And he goes, "Larceny."
Wow.
So I was
you
like,
really liked
I
it.
was like, you know what? Well, if you like larceny, maybe you'll like this.
Uh-huh.
So I passed along the little Woodford bottle.
That's awesome.
So hopefully you find something else. And I told him about Tin Cup. I'm like, you got to get on the Tin Cup thing.
Yeah,
This
Tin
is
Cup.
so good.
Good stuff.
And since you brought up the Tin Cup, I got the Tin Cup 10-year for Christmas.
Little
Well,
surprising.
You guys
Yeah.
tried it?
We did. We
And
tried it
That's
last
it was
night.
New Year's, yeah.
And
And what
not
everybody
it's,
else.
I don't know that
Not
it's worth the
the
extra money.
same.
It was
Not the
a little
same.
bitier. It was
Yeah.
different. Like we both went like, "Oh, this is." What? And then we kind of looked at each other like, "Are you gonna say it was bad?"
Are you gonna
Because
say
I'm
it?
about to say it was bad. And he's like,
not bad. It wasn't. bad.
It wasn't bad. It's just for the
It wasn't
extra
vodka.
Right.
for the extra $30 that it costs to get the 10-year version of it. It's I don't know why.
Wow.
Save yourself the money and just stick with the regular.
Did it taste like patchouli?
No, however, it did come with a pair of keys for his unmarked Subaru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just the key fob. You have to figure out which car it is.
Right. I got you.
But yeah, so that was kind of neat. Like the first, and on Reddit, I follow a bunch of whiskey pages, and they said that the big thing was, what was your first drink of the year? And that's what mine was. Alan and I got to have
I don't even know what my first drink of the year was.
This is it.
My first drink of the year is Lagavulin 9.
That's mine.
No, this is my second.
No, mine was
Triple
Sazerac.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Sazerac.
Sazerac, yeah.
My first drink of the year is Lagavulin 9. Not a bad way to start the year.
Great
And,
way to start the year.
and then what I did for myself was I normally don't like to splurge that much on just myself, but I figured with the current deal going on at the Fine Wine and Good Spirits, I took the 16-year trip personally.
Nice.
So it is.
Proud owner of a brand new bottle of Lagavulin 16.
Yeah.
Eh?
You did it!
I did it!
Yay!
And once I have
We're turning you, Jay. It's happening.
I had the small little micro plan brewing in my brain for making my a little bar in my garage, little makeshift bar, and I think once it's officially done, we'll have a little.
In a year, you're going to be like, Island malts are nothing.
No. I don't want to get crazy here. But no, so that was kind of cool. Like my sister Amy, she hit me with this stuff, and it's really, really cool. And tonight when I sit down to do some of the uploads and stuff like that, I get a chance to fill that book in a little bit. But yeah, this was kind of cool. I believe she's a Barnes & Noble rat, which I believe you can find this anywhere. This is a must-have for all whiskey lovers. If you get a chance to check that out there, go for it. It's a nice little book.
I should have brought it in. Dane stopped by on Christmas Eve. And
dude, you'd have been surprised at the non-alcoholic stuff that Dane brought.
Dude!
I would like to try them.
It was surprising.
Dude, let me tell you something. I mean, for non-alcoholic drinks, it was damn good.
For like the homemade non-alcoholic.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Dude, really, honest to God, blew my socks off. Wow. Well, we love Dane, but the master distiller there is Dane's dad, Tony. I think Dane would be okay with me saying that. He likes the podcast quite a bit. He got me a book on bourbons.
Oh yeah,
for Christmas. Yeah,
that's
Dane
awesome.
brought it over. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I think once I get the bar finished or whatever, this will live there throughout the
as
week.
it should
Throughout the week until
it's time for the podcast. Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Anyone else get any? Oh, one other I didn't bring it with me. It's still in the little case. In I don't know if it was in a stocking or if it was wrapped. I don't remember quite what it was, but there's this little wee gun case, and I'm like, oh, how cute! Look at this guy. And I flip it open, and it's a pen in the shape of a bullet, but it's actually a bolt action. If you want to get
No way.
if you want to get the pen to come out, you have to pull the lever down in the in the L shape.
Dude, that's the coolest pen I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah.
Did Al get you that?
Yeah, it's going to be in my book.
Al, you're the master,
My
man.
book bag.
Reverend L.
Reverend Al.
Yeah.
He
So-
keeps his congregation safe. That's awesome.
That's fantastic. Well, I think
That's my favorite Christmas present.
Dude,
yeah, that's so
Can you,
cool.
yeah, can you move?
you guys can't see it, but I mean, we are in the Triptychon of the Force. It is so beautiful.
Oh my god, I love
It's fantastic. I want to get a picture of that before I leave. It will be up on the. I know
Put it
you
on the
post
show notes. Yeah.
Speaking of things that we got. Speaking of, let's go and finish Mario's email, which will transition us right into the end of our show here
Okay.
with the final segment that Mikey instituted way back when,
almost a year ago.
almost a year ago. We are going to do What Are You Listening To this week, and we will let Jason speak for Mario.
I'm going to speak for Mario. The song is "Back to the Primitive" by Soulfly, off of the Primitive album. That's a pretty good record, actually.
Okay, Mikey.
Oh boy.
It's been a while, buddy.
Yeah. So I had a lot of what are you listening to's on the back burner, but obviously it has to be what I've been listening to this week. I've been listening to ELO, a lot of ELO.
I love ELO.
Yeah, that's why I was like, man, and I was listening to Out of the Blue, which it plays like a greatest hits. It's kind of like Boston. How the one day we were listening to Boston
Listen
at work,
to that today.
and it's like, is this a greatest hits? No,
it's just
it's
this
not.
album.
Just the album, and that's how Out of the Blue is. But I was trying to think of a. I mean, Mr. Blue Sky's on there,
Yeah,
but I don't want to pick that for my what are you listening to.
I think you've already picked that.
Did I?
I think so.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but I'll do Turn to Stone.
That's a dude, because
yeah.
it's an awesome one.
Yeah, it's a great one. But that whole album's great.
I think my favorite Yellow song is Telephone.
That's a good one. Not on that album,
Not on that album,
but it's a good one.
but it's a good one.
Jason.
So, without getting into too much of a big story, which I always do when it comes to this segment, because why not, right?
That's what it's about.
Because the listeners love it.
They
when I
want
do
to know.
that. Yeah. So without getting into too big a story, Monday, my New Year's Eve was pretty much shot. My wife and I drove our daughter down to Dallas in DC, where we dropped her off. She's going to be in Greece for 2 years going to school. And so she didn't have time to really like write us kind of like a little letter or a note, which is something that we sort of usually do to each other.
Yeah.
On journeys or whatever. So she just said like, I didn't have time to write a note or whatever. So she made us a Spotify playlist.
Awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it killed me. It was really hard. My wife like wanted to listen to it in the car on the way home. And I mean, I was pretty raw.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm like sitting there listening to this playlist, and I'm just like pretty much like trying not to slip my wrists. And because I mean, it's obviously songs about her being sad and all her dreams and all this stuff and just crazy stuff. And I know how I'm feeling, but first song on the playlist, I've been listening to it a lot since Monday. If you want to know what album it's from Tapestry. But I can't say I've been listening to Tapestry. I've just been listening to that playlist. But is Carole King So Far Away?
Good song.
It's a great song. And it's kind of weird because, like, I mean, I'm inferring. I've never heard the lyrics to that song like I did before that.
Yeah.
To me, it was always just like, wow, what a great song. When you're listening to it in that context, you're like, holy shit, I'm going to slip my wrist. But no, obviously, I think the song focuses on more of like, I think she probably wrote it more as the interaction, more of a romantic thing. And the song's kind of cool because it starts off with the references to distance, but then as the song goes on, you kind of feel like it's more about emotional distance, not just physical, geographical distance. And, whatever. But as a father relating to it as a daughter, or, to his daughter, it still fits, if you remove all that stuff from him. But I don't know. So that's what I've been listening to. I've been listening to Carole King, So Far Away.
Cool. Al?
Well, the thing is I really have not been listening to any music in the car or at home or anything like that, except the wife and I have been going out the past week. And we keep on going out and running into the same bearded person. And it just dawned on me, I really didn't listen to any songs except for Brian Fallon tunes.
Oh!
From this bearded person.
Okay.
I wonder who that would be.
Yes. We saw him twice live.
If
And
this
once.
next pick smells like Brian Fallon.
Yeah.
Because it does.
And I'm trying to think of
I'll help you. What was the song?
Steve McQueen. But I'm just trying to think if you already called that one out.
No, I don't think I ever.
Okay. Yes.
Well,
It's
you
one of my
have
favorite.
it,
I
so.
have it. Okay, this is true. That is one of my more favorite songs by B-Fell. But it was just like really weird the whole way down here. I haven't listened to anything this week.
I love
Old
that
Lang
we're,
Syne.
I love that we're so intimate
Went to see Jay
with
3
Brian
times.
Fallon on this show that we actually refer to him as B-Foul.
B-Foul.
Yeah, you have to.
What? Yeah.
Like we just
We had him over for New Year's.
Yeah, I guess you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
You know he's listening.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
talk to him all the time. Like, have you listened to my show yet?
Right.
Come on, Brian. Have you listened to my show? My pick for this week is maybe a lot of people didn't know this about me, but I happen to be a Prince fan.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I took in an awesome show.
That looked like a great show.
It was really good. I took in an amazing show right before Christmas. It was actually called Princemas, and it was a tribute show to the master of the instrument, the funkiest man I think I know. Well, not that I know, but I know of. So.
You know Rick Words.
Ooh, it's true.
That's true. And you know, I'm like, I got to go to this Prince show. I got to go to this Prince show, and I actually had my own show booked,
right?
And I wasn't able to go, and I was bummed out about it for months when I found out. But then, like the day before, I got a phone call. It was like, "Hey, we saw you posted that you're playing here tomorrow. We don't have you down. Actually, you know, someone else is already booked." Oops.
Sorry for the double booking.
Sorry for the double booking. I don't know if it was your fault or my fault. It ended up being my fault. I screwed that one
Maybe
up.
you did that subconsciously.
Maybe I did. But not only did I get to see my show, but they moved me just to the next night.
Right.
So I got to keep that show and then play the show that I accidentally got booked for. So I kind of made out like a bandit. But as I'm standing in the crowd being wowed by all the awesome local musicians who put this show on, big shout out to Jarrett Bickle. I believe he was the major hand behind that show. Huh?
Hunter had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, as far as so Hunter had a lot to do with it too. There's a lot of those guys: Rob Bonsall, Nate Beatty,
what a
basket of cheer winner Lindsay Riley played some amazing horn.
She did. Todd McEwen,
Chet Denny. And I forget her name again.
Yeah,
I sent her a request on Facebook.
Ashley Peer,
yeah. Great, great vocalist and everything. It was just a fantastic show. But the one song of the night that stuck out to me, because it bounced back and forth. It was one of the funkier songs they did, and it featured not only Nate playing some awesome key arrangements, but he also would put it down, pick up his trumpet, and he and Lindsay were going back and forth. My pick this week is Prince. The album is actually an unnamed album. It's the Symbol album, which they have just hyphenated as the Love Symbol.
Yeah.
And the song is Sexy Motherfucker.
Not Smarmy Motherfucker.
No, not Smarmy Motherfucker. That's Bill Maher. This is Prince. This is Sexy Motherfucker.
Do you know what Eric Wirtz says about a Rickenbacker bass, by the way?
Go ahead. You just can't.
You just can't.
It's impossible.
It's impossible. He said, Eric Wirtz says, you can't funk on a Rickenbacker.
And Rickenbacker.
Rickenbacker.
That's what he said. You can't funk on a Rickenbacker.
You can't funk on a Rickenbacker.
You just can't do it.
You just can't do it.
So
Hunter did. He did.
Yeah, he got some funkiness.
He got some funkiness.
No doubt. That was a really good show, and I hear tell that there might be some other shows in the future with that lineup. Yeah. So
talented musicians.
I would definitely go see it again. It was definitely worth the price of admission. I think that wraps that segment up quite nicely in a bow. Let me pull my show notes back up here. Now, I wanted to explain something. Throughout I don't know when I started doing it. I think it was right around here when we started coming to Mikey's house. I started saying that we are very thankful to the Whisketeers from day one to day, whatever day it just happened to be. And I realized the error of my mistake there. So I'm now backpedaling. Since it is now a new year, and technically it would be since day one to day two, I'm retrospectively going back and saying that this is day 358. If we are going by the true from day one.
Okay.
which would have been January 9th.
9th. Yeah.
We are 358 days into the show when it originally started. So, guys, thanks again for tuning in this week. We love doing this show. And more importantly, we love just to get together and talk with everyone, but, more importantly, amongst ourselves.
But mostly we love Lagavulin.
That's true. Lagavulin is just, it's like wiping your ass with silk.
Yeah, with suede.
With suede. So retrospectively, for those of you who have been with us since day 1 to day 358, thank you. We can't praise you enough for sticking around and doing this show with us every week. It really means a lot to us. So tune in next week. We will have our big anniversary show, so to speak. Again, if anyone has been on our show previously, you are formally invited to come to the next taping of the show. It's going to be a pretty cool time, and we are going to go do a throwback whiskey for us.
We're going to throw back some whiskey.
Yeah, sure. So that's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what he meant.
Yeah.
All right.
He says what it means.
With that, I am Jay.
I'm back.
It's good to have you back, Michael.
And front.
I'm Michael.
I am Jason.
I'm Al.
And we are the Wednesday Night Whiskey Committee. Please listen responsibly.
We did it, guys.
We got Mikey back.
We did. Guess who's back?
Back again.
Back again.
Which episode is this?
Welcome
Episode
back.
44. Season 2.
We're going to call it Welcome Back, Mikey.
Yeah, I missed.
Welcome
I
back.
missed 3.
I get it now. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome
Rub my back. Rub my back. Rub my back.
No, I don't think he wants us back.
No.
No.
I'm down.
To the dream.
Oh, good show, boys.
Welcome
Big
Back,
one.
Cotter was a good show.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, hey,
And
thanks.
guess what? Yeah, he's on here.
Thanks
one of them.
everybody for showing up.
There he is, actually, yeah.
Sorry that our feed dropped out there mid performance.
It was a damn Ohio militia.
So
It was pretty serpendarius.
Serpendarius for sure.
I don't even know that we didn't.
Yeah, that one I've never heard. Serendipity, but serpentary.
Very
That's-
serendipitous.
That's a tale from Mr. Nathan Peretta saying that when he was on tour with Foxy, the lead singer, Eric couldn't say serendipitous, so he used to say serpendarius.
See, these are little gems you get after the show's over if you're still tuning in.
Yeah.
And if you give $1, we'll give another gem.
Right.
Oh, let's right now. We had this discussion, Mikey.
Okay.
This is some after show bonus material for you still checking out YouTube. What is your everyone's
afraid where this-
everyone's
I know,
was
which
different.
one?
You are of course familiar with the game Bloody Knuckles.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, man.
By the way way to take me back. That was
Yeah.
just a
What
way back
was
machine.
what now Jason gave the air quote Catholic version.
Wait a minute. I thought mine was.
Al had his own Catholic.
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
We had the rough Catholic.
All right.
So what was go ahead, Jason. Go ahead and give him yours.
Okay, so our version of Bloody Knuckles when we were in grade school at Catholic school was we would take a comb and you would balance it on the top of your hand like this. Hold your hand up. So I'd balance a comb here. And we'd like stare each other in the eye, right? And I'd like kind of fake like I was going to take it, you know? And then all of a sudden I'd pick it up and I'd like slash the teeth of the comb across your knuckles, right? And then if I got you, I got to put it back again. And then we proceeded until I went to get the comb and you pulled away and I couldn't get, or I perhaps picked it up and missed you, whatever point, at which point then we would change. If I didn't hit the comb and you flinched enough to like knock the comb off,
Freebie.
I got a free
There were
free
combs.
shot, right?
Yeah.
So like that was our version of Bloody Knuckles. Did you have a version of Bloody Knuckles?
So we had my friend group and I had a game that we would play that I guess was kind of similar. It was called Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, you would roll dice,
where we would roll dice
and then hit each
and
other.
then, in a fantasy world, we would lose our virginity and do all that, but in reality, none of that happened.
Right. Okay.
No, we.
You didn't have any
I
of
was
those?
too big of a nerd. Yeah.
Okay.
See, now we had another version, the same thing, except each person had their fists up knuckle to knuckle,
Right.
and you stared at each other in the eye, and you try to flinch any muscle in your body except for your hands.
See, they couldn't move their hands.
Yeah, you couldn't move your hand, and either one could attack. Sometimes you'd play one or the other, but there was no comb, and you'd try to whack somebody using your own knuckle on their knuckle. It was sort of violent, and it really hurt both partners at the end.
Sound good.
Well, what do you want?
We
for
used
a
to
bunch
bleed
of kids?
quite a bit. I mean, we bled quite a bit.
Yeah,
Actually.
Mine
it's a Catholic thing. I don't know.
Mine was like a blend of. It was like quarters almost. You'd spin the
We were
quarter.
playing quarters in grade school.
Banker
We'd
knuckle.
take a quarter and we'd bounce it on the table, and it went.
You'd spin the quarter and you'd have to stop it while it was upright. But if it fell over, you had to put your knuckles down on the table, and they would take the quarter with their thumbs and jack it into your fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was your version of Bloody Knuckles when you were a kid?
Yeah, send us an email, WednesdayNightWhiskey@gmail.com. Tell us your Bloody Knuckle story. All right, I'm done. You done?
We're done.
Cheers.
I missed. Rick Ward says I missed the first hour. Please start over.
Yeah. We'll do it just for you, Rick.
But Rick, you're in time for the bonus footage. Well, there's that. Hey, welcome to the Wednesday Night Whiskey Committee, Rick Wirtz.
Right.
We had Lagavulin 9.
We did.
If you hurry up and get over here, you can have some.
Absolutely.
And we talked about Mikey's surgery. We read an email from Mario, and we talked about some Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
So
that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. We drank Lagavulin.
And some more laggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Voss, if you're sticking around for the bonus footage,
best water ever.
Yeah.
And it goes great in the Lefroy pitcher.
It does. We poured water from a Lefroy pitcher into Lagavulin.
Except
Highland clans have killed each other.
I wanted to see if I get more pears out of it.
Right.
Love you, Rick.
Peaches. Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Bye.